Hey everybody, Mark Covell here with Leading Edge Financial Planning, where we enjoy helping out our aviation families navigate their financial future. Uh, in the spirit of that, we're creating a series of videos on how to either execute or understand aspects of Fidelity's 401k through net benefits. For these examples, we'll be using an American Airlines account, but some of these ideas will translate easily for folks either at Delta, FedEx, or other carriers that are using Fidelity. So let's go ahead and kick it off. Today's series is going to be how to understand my retirement score. So if we log in to Fidelity, we'll see our plans information as well as potentially previous employers brokerage link if that's applicable. And if we scroll down, we'll come across our retirement score. For some of you who have wondered what the heck is this and how do they determine it, we're going to plan on looking under the hood today and try to get a little bit better understanding of all the assumptions and maybe some ability to try to refine it so it provides something that's more useful. So if we were to select about your score, we'll get a little disclaimer here that basically says, hey, this is a model and we make some assumptions and, standard financial disclosure information in there. And really, anytime we're talking about financial models, I like to think back to a famous British statistician who has said, all models are wrong, but some are useful. And today I'm hoping to make this model a little bit more useful for you. So coming back to our screen here, if we go to review your analysis right here and were to select that, that'll hyperlink us into a planning and guidance center. There's other ways to navigate to it. We'll also be able to select review your analysis here. And that's going to bring us to a little bit more detail on what's in the score and what does it mean. So at the top, we've got a green, yellow, red. Green is good, red is bad. What does that mean? We'll talk about it in a little bit. We show a cumulative lifetime income. And this is very important because it's not intuitive, in my opinion, what is there. So if we were to select on some of the links, and I encourage everyone to click into anything that they don't understand and read it. Some of it can be a little dense, but this one's important because the cumulative lifetime income is only accounting for Social Security benefits, pensionable income that we were to input in, and as well as any cash balances or annuities. So what it doesn't include is what's more important is any investments that we've got in our 401k. So it doesn't matter if it's equities, bonds, foreign, domestic, any of that stuff. It's not necessarily showing up in this cumulative lifetime indicator. So better put, it's really showing guaranteed money that we can expect, stuff that's not at risk. Assets at the end of plan. There's a ton of assumptions baked into this. Everything from when do we retire, how long we're going to live, how much money we're going to contribute to our account, what the market performance is going to be, and how much we spend. All of those factors are going to influence what this number says. So end of the plan is when we're not taking any more money because if you're single, it's you've passed away, or if you're married, it's when both partners have passed away. So anyways, just wanted to highlight, what do these numbers mean? The default positions as we come down here shows an income flow. We can also select this and go to our total assets. So that'll look slightly different. We can also see a different market returns. One of the good things I like about Fidelity is they default to kind of this worst case scenario. So if your number is not in the green and it's something that doesn't look as encouraging to you, take note that we're assuming not a worst case scenario, but a very conservative estimate for market returns here. We're showing everything in today's dollars, so we're not showing future value based on inflation and what inflation will do. And I know that's a big topic currently. Anyways, we can go into a table version that'll break down all this in a spreadsheet style if that's helpful. I think the visual outlook is a good way to start. So in this example, we've got one spouse that's retired, the other one's working. While they're working, we're seeing these green income tabs or dollar amounts for what the projected incomes are. Eventually, there's going to be a retirement period. When that happens, there's different ways to provide income. We have Social Security is definitely one of the primary methods. That is going to be fall under the yellow lifetime income tab. And we'll talk a little bit more about how to change your Social Security election strategy later. The blue lines are going to represent withdrawals from, it says savings, but really it's more of our investments that we've contributed to either in our 401k or if we have a different additional accounts, other retirement plans, IRAs, taxable brokerage accounts that we can link in here. Those are going to show up here. Okay. Other things that are going to show up outside of just Social Security in the yellow would be things like annuities or other pension plans will occur here. So again, if you think about it, this yellow box, if we were to add them all up, that's going to get us our cumulative lifetime income figure here. What I wanted to talk about is those market assumptions here. So it's really, if I go back and we were to click in what the question mark here in the market returns, we'll see this significant below average market. What it says here is we got a 90% confidence level that the returns, the income produced, which is basically these blue lines here, will be 90% of the time they'll be at this level or even more. And there's only 10% of market scenarios that they're modeling that would show it would be less than this dollar amount. Okay. So if we were to go ahead and modify that significantly below and we were to go to average market, now we're saying it's a 50-50 chance of it. And you can see our ability to spend more in retirement is increasing here because we're assuming higher market returns, and we can make some assumptions based on how much income we can generate on an annualized basis based on how much money we have in total. You can also see based on this, the assets at the end of plan are growing over time, and that's giving us an ability to spend more money. Okay, so this is great, but let's determine how accurate is any of these numbers. The Fidelity will come to some assumptions. Some of them are good. Some of them we need to modify. So it's going to import our personal information. It knows how old we are. If we got a spouse, we need to put that in there. It doesn't know when we plan on retiring. For most pilots, it's going to be 65. Some of us might be earlier. Some people might want to work a part-time job afterwards. So this is going to be a factor, a huge one, actually. Taking an early retirement or being able to delay it will have significant effects on the difference between when we retire and how long we're going to survive for. And if we're planning for us and our spouse, how long, age difference between husband and wife and who's going to survive and how much we're spending, all of these things are important decisions. So this is critically important. You see some numbers here. It defaults to 92 for the men, 93 for the women. That's an average, and we're going to go. These are somewhat conservative figures that we don't want to plan for the median. We actually want to plan for living longer because we do not want to outlive our money, or at least plan for that. So moving on past the time horizon, retirement expenses. This one's interesting because when I pulled this up, it had an estimate here, and I'm not quite sure how Fidelity determined what the estimated expenses were. It's probably based on current year's uh, earnings minus taxes and savings rate, and it said, well, you must be spending probably close to this much amount. I'm not quite sure. However, if we were to click into selecting detailed expenses and filling out um, a worksheet here, it's going to default to 0 because it doesn't know. So there's a basic assumption. Hey, we think you're going to spend this much amount. If you want to get a better answer, we can go ahead and fill this in with all of our current spending. We can determine if that is a need versus a want. Sometimes discretionary versus non-discretionary spending, you might hear other terms, but basically some stuff is going to be fixed and there's no way getting around it. Rent, utilities, insurance premiums, things like that. Other stuff might be vacation, going out to eat, entertainment, things like that, that we have the ability to flex to. So when we fill this out, in this example, we've got an essential line number. We've got some additional discretionary expenses for a total value. And, it was a couple grand more than what the assumption was. So as we input that new number in, plus our tax status, that's going to really have an effect on, I'm sorry, let me go, that's going to have an effect on our score here and our ability to meet our new needs. The asset mix does not provide a ton of information, and I do not recommend spending a lot of time here. It says, hey, here's a growth target. Here's what you're currently doing. Are you close? Doesn't really get into a lot of detail on types of investments, levels of diversification, and a topic for another time. Salary. This will drive quite a few factors for us. The 16% guaranteed contribution, at least at American, plus any of our elective contributions is going to be off this base salary. If there's a working spouse, then that's going to be a factor as well as any pension, annuity income, or even VA benefits, if that's a factor, need to be included here for that future salary stream or current salary. And lastly, once we've gone through our salary, Social Security, pensions, annuities, and all that stuff, we get a tab where it allows us to find an income strategy. And if we hit get started here, what we do find is solving from our current monthly income and adding in a fixed annuity. And what does it do for us? For some people, if that fixed annuity helps push their income past their essential annual expenses, this could be a really good strategy. If it doesn't, it's arguable on the role of the annuity, and probably a topic for another time. But my observation is at the end of this, you're really left going, all right, I guess is annuity the only way that I can solve for income in retirement? Kind of an incomplete feeling, because there's many ways to provide income in retirement that we don't have time to get into today. And I guess it leaves you the last piece of information is a quick risk assessment on spending, healthcare costs, longevity, and market volatility. My opinion of this is the better information we can include, the better value you'll get out of it. So if you want that number to be somewhat meaningful, spend some time trying to put the best info you can in. Some of the shortcomings are it does not include a lot of factors that a full financial plan would be included in, things like solving for life insurance, disability insurance, risk management, estate planning, so on and so forth, as well as the the level of rigor put in some of the investment side as well. There's a lot more. Some other financial planning programs can provide a lot more scenario based planning. But hopefully you found the video useful. You can reach us at info@leadingedgeplanning.com. You can check us out at leadingedgeplanning.com as well. Follow the Pilot Money Guys podcast, and or you can give us a call at our office line, 865-240-2292. Thanks, and I appreciate you joining us today. Take care.